everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to use one of my mods called the license plate number and letters changer, along with this one, which I'll provide a link for, which is the new license plates add-on. What we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how you can basically customize any design you would like on a license plate, and then while using my mod, you can customize either numbers or letters for specific cars. In this case, I'll show you how to do both a police car license plate and a sheriff license plate. First mod that we'll need to download is this add-ons plate mod here. Once downloaded, you'll see some files in the downloads file. The main files that we're worried about here are the vehshare.ytd, as you can see the path here, and then also the carcols.ymt. Later, we'll talk about the carcols.ymt, but that's actually not necessarily needed. All we really need to worry about are these two files here. So the first file I'm going to show you guys is the vehshare.ytd file. This is where to actually put all the designs of the license plates. I already have this saved, so we'll go right here, and you'll notice vehshare.ytd is here. But just to make life a little easier for you guys, I'll start the path from the very beginning so you can see where we're going. We're going to go split screen here. So on the left hand side, we're going to start at GTA 5. Then we're going to go to update folder. Actually mods, sorry. You want to make sure you're in the mods folder. So go to mods, update, x64, dlcpacks, patch day 27 ng. There it is right there. dlc.rpf, x64, levels, GTA 5, vehicles.rpf. Once we click that and we scroll all the way down here, you'll see the vehshare.ytd file. Go ahead and double click that. Once you double click this file here, you'll see a bunch of license plates. You're probably not going to see as many until you actually replace your file. So in the vehshare.ytd file that comes in the mod, go ahead and replace it. I've already replaced mine and actually changed some license plates. So you're going to see here that you're going to license plates that I have that you don't have. So plate 01 is going to be the standard plate that you see with most cars. As you can see here, I've changed some plates. So plate 05 here kind of looks like a police plate. Plate 06 is a park ranger plate out of the National Park Service there. Plate 07 is one of the Ohio sheriffs. Plate 08, as you can see, is a San Andreas Highway Patrol license plate. Plate 09 is a Liberty license plate. Plate 10 is an Ohio State Patrol license plate. And then as you go down, you'll see a couple others that I've added. These are all come with the mod, but this one in particular, plate 14, I've added to be the San Andreas Sheriff. So we have the San Andreas map there for GTA 5, and then Sheriff. So it's kind of like the Ohio Sheriff, but it's been changed to match the lore. So that's kind of how you do that. If you'd like to modify these, it's just like modifying any other file. Basically, you go ahead and you drag it to your desktop. I have my desktop icons off at the current moment, so I'm going to go ahead and go plate 14. And once we open it up here, you can use any imaging editor. I use GIMP, but it's up to you to use any imaging editor you would like. You can see there's plate 14. Basically, if you want to replace it, you can replace it however you would like, and then you would just export it as a DDS and then import it back into here. Okay, so that's the first file. Now let's go over to the second file. The second file we're going to be worried about is the carcols.ymt file. This file is needed because what it actually does is it tells the game that we have a lot more license plates, and it also tells the game how you would like to format those specific plates. So let's go over to the carcols.ymt file. So we're going to go back to OpenIV. Here we're going to go to GTA 5, mods, update, update.rpf. Oops, I think I misclicked something there. Let's try one more time. We're going to go to mods, update, update.rpf, x64, data. Now, if you double click this file, you actually won't be able to open it within OpenIV. So if you'd like to open this file somewhere else, we'll just go ahead and drag it on over to desktop. I already have carcols.ymt. We'll just go ahead and replace it. And then you have to wait one moment. Here we go. Let's search for carcols.ymt. And as you can see, we kind of have a bunch of them. I'm going to do the most recent one we put here, which would be this one right here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so as you can see here, I'll even make it a little bit bigger so some of you on the screen can see it. We'll just start with the standard white license plate. So here we can see that the plate 01 is going to be the standard white license plate. Let's go back to our vehshare.ytd just to make sure that all matches up. So we go all the way up to plate 01. Plate 01 does look like the standard white, so that all works out. So make note of these as well, because you're going to need these to actually change the plates on the cars. So standard white, you pretty much want that for all civilian cars. Here plate 02 is named yellow plate, plate 03 is blue plate, white plate, and then here is the standard police plate that spawns on most police cars. It's called police gov plate, and here it's on plate 05. So if we go over to plate 05 on our vehshare file, let's see, I think we lost our vehshare file, so we're going to go back to it here. So this is back to our vshare file. And we scroll down to plate 05 just to make sure that's the police plate we want, and there it is. Now, you'll notice, because this has black background, the background right away might not be for the letters what you want them to be, so you kind of have to experiment around with this. I will show you guys how to experiment around with this in-game, but the next thing I'm going to show you is how to actually change the license plates for each car. Here we're just going to go to an add-on car and take a look to see what we have. So let's go to dlcpacks. I made an add-on pack for the Los Santos County Sheriff's Department. So let's go ahead and go to my LSSD pack that I've created. And then I'm just going to go to open up. Once you open the pack, I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can all see. dlc.rpf, common, data. And then to change the license plates for a car, you are going to have to go to the derivations.meta file for either the car or the pack of cars that you would like to change. Once we open up this derivations.meta file, you'll notice the cars here. So for me, it's pretty easy. LSSD1 is my first car in the pack here. And if you scroll all the way down to this plate probabilities folder, or area, this is the area that we're worried about right here. I'm actually going to go ahead and copy it so we can take it somewhere else and make it look bigger. We'll just throw it in a notepad and we'll make it look bigger. So this is the area that we're going to configure for license plates. In this specific license plate, you'll see that the LSSD1 is going to spawn with a 100% chance of the North Birds plate. So let's go ahead and check to make sure that that's what we want. I already know that's what we want, but I'm going to show you guys how to check it. So we're going to go to our North Birds plate, and let's remember we're using a sheriff car. Now, how do we determine which is the North Birds plate? What we can do is go back to our carcols.ymt file and look for North Birds plate. As you can see, we're still scrolling here up. There it is. North Birds plate appears to be plate 14. So let's go over back to our vehshare file. And there's plate 14. So we have confirmed that LSSD, which is sheriff car, does have the sheriff plate 14 license plate. Now we're going to go ahead and launch the GTA 5 game, and then once that gets going, I'll kind of show you guys what the license plates look like in game. Alright guys, welcome back. We have launched the GTA 5 game. Next we're going to spawn the LSSD1 car. Now it should have that sheriff plate that we saw earlier. As we can see there's the sheriff plate. It is the texture that we set it to be. Now let's not pay attention to the design because I just showed you guys how to change that. Now what we're going to do is pay attention to the actual lettering and numbering on the license plate. In this particular license plate, we can see that it's spawned with LS82. So if you download my script, and I'll go ahead and put it up there for you guys one more time. So once we download this license plate number and letters changer, we want to put all the files in the scripts folder. We're going to make our way to the scripts folder. And then here you'll see it, license plate changer, and then vehicleplates.json. We want to go ahead and edit that file. And here's a bunch of cars that are changing license plates. We are worried about LSSD1 because that is the car that we spawned. Just for testing purposes, I'm going to go ahead and change this to test. Save it. And if we go back to our game and reload our plugins, you'll notice that this car, because it's already spawned, will not change. But any other car we spawn after, so we'll spawn an LSSD1 again, you'll notice there's our test license plate. So that's how easy it is to change license plates of certain cars. Now one more thing we're going to do, I'm going to spawn another LSSD1. We should get a test. There's our test license plate. Right away, when I put this texture in, the color of the text, so in this case, the color of test was actually not matching the plate. How I was able to determine which color I liked, if you go to in the native trainer license plate menu, now don't actually pay attention to the number because the extra plate 9 does not mean that it's plate 9, so don't actually pay attention to that. What you just want to do is pay attention to which plate it is. So here's a Robata plate. Some of these you're going to see that you don't have because I already changed them, but let's just go to one that may have red text. So there's Pantera. If you look to figure out, so we have a red one with red state with black text, or the green state with red text. So if you wanted a license plate with red text, what you would have to do is figure out which license plate this is, and then in the carcols file, change it based on that. And I'll show you guys how to do that real quick, and that should conclude this video. So let's go ahead and look for the red Pantera license plate. So the first thing we have to do is go to our vehshare file. I'm going to go ahead and relaunch our Open4. It shouldn't cause any issues with GTA being launched, but if we end up crashing, we'll know why. Alright, so we go to our vehshare file, double click it, and I'm looking for the Pantera with the green state, I believe. Okay. The one with the green state had the red text. And we'll just double check that. If you're never sure, you can always just go back to your game and double check. So there we go. We got a green state with the red text. That is what we want. So if we go back here, that is plate 18. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our carcols file, and that's actually already here, I believe. Let's double check that plate. Plate 18. So if we scroll all the way down to plate 18, that would be the Miami plate. You'll notice here there are some other things besides the plate number. So one of them is font color. If you would like to change the font color, and you probably should do the outline too. Let's double check how it looks here. So it's up to you if you would like to choose the outline color too, but I'm going to choose both just to make it consistent. And if we wanted to change this to make them both red, we can do that. Now make note, if you have the game running and you already try this, it's probably not going to work. You're going to have to reload your game. But that would be how you change the color of the license plate.